The Knicks are broken. We've been talking now for a month, the better part of a month, about kind of what's off. That conversation has ramped up, I think, in a serious way over the last 2 to 3 weeks about, is it on court? Is it off court? Is it, X's and O's? Is it personnel? Is it the coach? Is it the best player? And now we can put all that behind us because we have arrived at a point of finality. And the finality is that this team is broken. There is nothing to fix it if it remains as currently constituted. And I will say one more time for emphasis, the Knicks as currently constituted are broken. When they fired Tibbs, I got on here and I said, I think you had to do it because I don't know how you go forward as an organization if you have players that are actively disliking the man that they have to report to. But you better nail the right hire. And we talked again and again about what kind of person they should hire to replace Tom Thibodeau. And the one thing that was dismissed out of hand was a coach who was similar to Tom Thibodeau, because why would you go from Tibbs to Tibbs, i.e. Mike Brown? And we thought the emphasis would be on reaching the players. And now we come back to today, and you have a head coach who clearly has a way about going about things with players, and he is not going to back down from that. And that does not work with Karl Anthony Towns. And I think Mike Brown has let that get to the point where the rest of the locker room who are looking at this coach going out there and actively losing a guy and pushing away a guy that doesn't matter what Josh Hart, Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, OJ, doesn't matter what any of these guys think about Karl Anthony Towns, about his antics or about what makes him tick or this and the other thing. They're smart enough to know they need him. Why? They need him to win. If they don't have him on board, they don't stand a chance. And I think it has gotten personal, and I think they know it has gotten personal, and they're looking at this situation and they're saying shit. He went from a guy who would chew off his own arm just to give us the best possible chance to win. How many times do you think Tom Thibodeau wanted to pull out what was left of the few hairs on his head over things that Karl Anthony Towns did on the basketball court last year? And how many times in press conferences was he asked about those sorts of things? And you know what Tom Thibodeau said every time in response to those questions? You guys don't see what Cat's doing. Cat was great for us tonight. Cat, great on the defensive glass. And he would run through the laundry list of all the things Karl Anthony Towns did well. So now you have these players sitting here observing the situation, observing the head coach losing this player who they know they need. What the fuck do you think they're going to go out there and do? They're looking around like, Jesus Christ, this thing is falling apart at the seams. And this is what you get, is how you get a team that was in the Eastern Conference Finals last year. And now we're sitting here having conversations about whether this era of Knick basketball is over.